This comment, sir, has lived rent-free in my head for quite a few days now. I think that's because you played on a topic that is very close to my heart, and that is contentment. But first, let's talk about the farming aspect of this and how it applies to agriculture. First, wealthy means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Everyone has kind of their own bar or status quo for what wealth means. I know a lot of wealthy people who would prefer to buy things used instead of new. And I know a lot of people that are the complete opposite way around. What it means to live modestly is also a very interpretive term. I don't know very many farmers who just blow money for fun, but that's not what modest means to everyone. Most farmers and ranchers operate their businesses as a company, so they are a for-profit organization. So in my opinion, a farmer or rancher should have the opportunity to choose and make decisions that affect their wealth, which I think is pretty easy to understand. You make a poor financial decision, you see poor financial consequences. But with farming and ranching, there is so much that is outside of a farmer or rancher, an entrepreneur, for a general term, out of their control. Mother Nature, regulations, world trade, consumer preferences, and the buying power of huge corporations that need their inputs. Add on to that the fact that most farms and ranches are handed down from generation to generation, so they were likely handed a business model that they then have to take or leave, and there's a lot of details around that, like tradition and heritage and not making grandpa pissed off. Boil all that down, and what you get is a very, very thin line of opportunity to be profitable. And I simply don't think that we can sum that up in living modestly and buying used instead of new. Now, contentment, on the other hand, is something that I think is very important for us to address. There's a lot of very uncontent people who are always looking for the next best thing. That's kind of this instant gratification society that we've come to know. But telling someone that they have to be content with what they already have teaches them to expect very little. And honestly, I think that that's where we're at as farmers and ranchers. We have such low expectations of what we should be able to make that we just don't ever look for anything better. We think it's not possible, and when we try to make it possible, it gets really frustrating and really discouraging really quickly. So we go back to, well, I just must be ungrateful. But personally, I don't think an entire group of people nationwide are just ungrateful. There's something more here.